Okay, what's up? Welcome to Football Therapy. Yes, hello people, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you lot are all doing well today, my friends. I really do hope that. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here on Football Therapy. I'm not going to say the rest of the spiel because you know it, just welcome back to Chelsea News. Silly season, transfer season is upon us, and there's going to be a few headlines of one club and another club going for the same player. And it's box office, man, come on, this is the narrative that we all like to see in the transfer sagas and the dramatic scenes where Chelsea steal a player from Tottenham. We get Willian on the last day, or Mikel joins Chelsea instead of going to Manchester United, or who else? Pedro going to Chelsea instead of Manchester United, or Eden Hazard going to Chelsea instead of Manchester United. You know, transfer sagas, a lot of fun. Anyway, I wake up today, I'm checking the Chelsea news, I look on The Athletic, which is always a really good source of information and news. And of course, they're talking about the Declan Rice to Chelsea story. Apparently he's pushing for a move. Had we signed him last summer, we wouldn't be in this position, they theorise. Declan Rice has reportedly changed agents to his father, who is a Chelsea season ticket holder, and although won't hand in a transfer request, wants the move. In the last 12 to 24 hours, headlines are saying Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is coming in for Chelsea target Declan Rice, and it makes a lot of sense for them, and I want to talk about it this video, or in this video would be the appropriate English. But first, a quick shout out to OneFootball, but a little bit different this time. OneFootball are doing a Boxing Day giveaway where you can predict the results of the Boxing Day football matches and have the opportunity to win a football shirt, most probably in your case, a Chelsea shirt. On the image next to me are the games that you have to predict. I'm going to go for Chelsea to beat the Gooners. I'm actually going to predict a draw between Leicester and Manchester United. Liverpool will most probably beat West Brom, let's be honest. Similarly, City to beat Newcastle. And finally, I'm actually going to go for a draw again with Tottenham and Wolves. It's that kind of game where I could see a score draw maybe. So click the link in the top of the description to do your match day predictions for Boxing Day to try and win yourself a shirt. Alright then, let's get into today's video. Before we talk about Declan Rice a little bit more, because he divides opinion within the Chelsea fan base, and you can kind of understand why, but there's an element of Frank Lampard wants him, and if he truly wants a player so far, that seems to work in this team, so you gotta back him. Hakim Ziyech, Thiago Silva, Ben Chilwell, etc. Anyway, the Rags are coming in and saying Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to swoop in for Chelsea target. Manchester United want Declan Rice. Well, I think they want a CDM in general to replace Paul Pogba. Now, obviously, Paul Pogba, hashtag Pogback, seems a long time ago now. Hasn't really, I don't want to say it's been a failed exercise at United, but certainly it's been very, very underwhelming. Now, if Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is to keep his job, he of course beat the Blades last night, which, had they not, he wants to play this 4-2-3-1 formation with, or sometimes a diamond, but generally Bruno Fernandes as the number 10, and I think eventually Donny van de Beek will come in and be this rotational attacking player. Pogba's been playing in the base in a 4-2-3-1, he can do some stuff, but really they need a more functional player. They've got the likes of Fred, McTominay and Matic, which are all pretty meh at the moment, but they haven't really got that proper CDM, and if you can understand why Solskjaer wants someone like Declan Rice to sit at the base of his midfield, he'd make them a lot better, wouldn't he? And they'd probably sell Pogba for probably enough money to buy Declan Rice, and they could do a one out, one in. But of course, Declan Rice is Frank Lampard's number one target at this point. He really wants him. He's wanted him for a while. I said at the top of the video, Declan Rice really wants the move to Chelsea. You know, people like Matt Law talk about it. People from The Athletic talk about it. It's true, he wants the move. He's just swapped his agent to his old man, who is a Chelsea season ticket holder. And of course, we all know Declan Rice is a Chelsea lad, he's a Chelsea fan, he was in the academy. You know, who knows, I'm talking about Pogback, maybe Chelsea will do their own hashtag should they secure the signing, Deck back. That sounds weird. So that's the sort of headlines and the narrative at the moment. I want to express myself a little bit more on the potential transfer because, you know, The Athletic, the way they did that column this morning was, oh, if Chelsea got Declan Rice, everything would have been okay. But we all know and we all accept Kante is playing incredibly well in that role. But it is a little bit different, I suppose. I think the perception, the general perception about playing Declan Rice in that role over, say, an N'Golo Kante, is Chelsea would be better in transition, straight up offense to defensive transition. Now, we all know Kante is good at mopping up, he's good at turning over possession around different places, but when it's a straight counter-attack and protecting the back four, the common consensus is becoming that Declan Rice would be that safer player, and perhaps Frank Lampard's football is more vulnerable to that, and that's why he's identified Declan Rice as this player he wants. Now, of course, signing Declan Rice for this position would not be the end of N'Golo Kante. Of course not, they'd probably rotate, play different times, you'd imagine. Also, N'Golo Kante is like pushing 30. He's had a lot of injuries recently, and he could probably do with a rest every now and again. And Declan Rice is what, 7 or 8 years younger than N'Golo Kante. It'll be a long-term contingency plan, so that makes sense. The truth is, it would cost Chelsea a lot of money to secure Declan Rice. I don't think we'd get him in January. I think that's just too far-fetched. Even next summer, David Moyes has said it would take Bank of England money when he was posed the question in an interview, so it would cost Chelsea a lot. He probably wouldn't put in a transfer request, but he'd probably make noises to the club. Look, I love it here at West Ham, but I would really love the move to Chelsea Football Club to challenge for silverware. And you can understand that from the kid. And back to the Chelsea fans. Of course, there's a confliction here because people talk about the likes of Billy Gilmour and, of course, Ethan Ampadu. Now, I'm a huge fan of both, of course, very different players, but I don't think either would offer the precise attributes of what Declan Rice would offer this Chelsea team. And in a game of fine margins and analysis, you kind of got to go for the exact right jigsaw piece. Do you know what I mean? Billy Gilmour can play as an 8 and a 6. I think he'll have a place in this team regardless. He'll get minutes. He's very good at releasing the ball quickly. He can put in a tackle, but I think he's more of a progressive player, Billy Gilmour. Even when he's playing in that deeper lone 6, he's thinking about moving forwards and attacking. Whereas perhaps a Declan Rice is thinking a little bit more of how we're going to control this and make sure we don't concede. And that's very important at this level, ladies and gentlemen. So, Ethan Ampadu. I know there is a huge Ethan Ampadu hive out there, and just because I might imply that I want Declan Rice and I think it would be a good signing, which I think I probably do, doesn't mean I don't like Ethan Ampadu. I was there when he was 17, signed from Exeter, made, you know, his debut under Conte. I watched him under Sarri. I love Ethan Ampadu. His tenacity, how he sort of, I don't know, he's beyond his years, isn't he? But just because I love a player so much doesn't necessarily mean I think he's the missing piece for this puzzle. It's just easy to say, oh, he's a good CDM, he can play a centre half, he can play a long ball, you know, he's got a good attitude. That's all true, but that still doesn't make him perfect for this particular team. Ampadu is still so young, man. He could get yet another loan and perhaps his, you know, game will develop. We're yet to see, but the truth is, honestly, Frank Lampard knows the managerial tenure at Chelsea is short, and so buying someone like Declan Rice ensures or enhances your chance of challenging next season, like massively, whereas you probably won't get that with Ethan Ampadu. But it's not like you're buying a 30-year-old World Cup winner in Declan Rice. You're still providing Chelsea with a player that can play for you for the next decade. So it kind of kills two birds with one stone. Plus he's a leader, he's a captain. Just makes a lot of sense. Now, I know a lot of you in the comments will disagree, and of course that's your right. We're all allowed opinions, so I'm interested to hear your thoughts on it. Get down into the comment section below and express yourselves on this story, this situation. Try and open your mind though. Don't be like, no, Ampadu or nothing. Think about it, my friends. Let me know. Let's open a good discussion and a debate down in the comment section below. I'll be down there. If you've enjoyed today's video, please do drop a like. It really does help me out a lot. Consider subscribing to Football Therapy if you are indeed new to the experience. And why not? Come follow me on Instagram at FootballYannick if you want to see more of this beautiful mug. Alright, that's enough from me. Enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
always so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me baby.